the luxury of self-destruction to be self-aware. Why my mind malfunctions into disreverse? Smile, I walk to get a drink from the machine. Why my mind malfunctions? I, the luxury of self-destruction to be self-aware.
Hello, everybody.
Okay.
All right. Do we want to wait a few minutes to make sure people are ready to go, or should we just dive right in? What do you think, Al?
Maybe just wait a minute.
All right. There we go. Laura Rose.
I can't see what you're seeing.
So on the right hand side, you have you can join the chat on the bottom right.
Okay.
And we connect your YouTube. The comments, so people are commenting.
Oh, there we go. I see it.
Lindsay. All right. So yeah, we're going to be talking about social media today in the beauty world. This is the digital beauty masterclass. Allison, you want to dive in? And I know a lot of people probably know you already, been following you as you've been huge in that space. But you want to give a brief rundown?
Yeah. So I'm Allison. I'm out of Detroit, Michigan. I have 2 salons here. Been working with 11 Australia for a few years now. So really excited to be doing some education with them. I was a hairdresser myself, like most of you, and I've backed away from working behind the chair to actually just focus on coaching and the education side of salon ownership. So that's me.
Yes, and then Allison and I, well, we grew up together because we're brother and sister. But I moved to LA about 19 years ago and was heavy into the world of entertainment. And in 2016, founded Mastermind Media, which is a full-service digital agency. We focus on helping extract people's value and create content around that to grow your following on social media and to really build your business through that. And then Allison and I joined forces almost 2 years ago for Mastermind Beauty. When we say mastermind with a Y, which you can see right here, it's really about doing what you love. It's about working hard to make your dreams come true. It's about having the patience to see it through and inspiring the world in the process. And that's really the foundation, a lot of what we'll speak about today. And as we add mastermind to the beauty world, that's the same vision, that's the same mission. And yeah, really excited to not only talk about how to get more attention, but how to have a great relationship with social media and how that is going to free you from all of the noise and allow you to focus on what's necessary so that you can build on social media, build your business, and inspire people in the process. So yeah, so thank you so much, 11, for having us today. And we can jump into the deck.
All right. Thank you for bringing that up. So today we are doing the Digital Beauty Masterclass, which is going to be all about branding and social media.
Yes.
So first we're going to focus on crafting your brand identity. Then we're going to go into creating compelling content and getting those likes and those comments actually converted into customers in your chair and dollars spent in your business. We're going to talk about leveraging social media, converting website leads, Instagram SEO, which I'm really, really passionate about, engaging your target audience, analyzing performance, vertical video content, and the long-term strategy so that you can take everything we're talking about today and bring it to life.
Absolutely. And if everybody gets a sec to practice what we preach, we're even taking a video. I just took a video right now. I'm going to post that because as we get into this introduction, it's really about focusing on, changing your lifestyle to allow social media to be a part of it rather than like fighting up against it. Preparation is key. but also just to see the world in a different light. So as I have this new mentality of having social media be a part of my life and to help my life rather than focusing on the negatives. I didn't get that many likes. I didn't get this many saves. I didn't get this many shares. Nobody sees it. My mom thinks I'm stupid for putting this content out, and she says nobody even thinks it matters. Like, once you quiet all that noise and you allow it to be a part of your life, you start just seeing things differently. You go, wow, that could be really interesting to do a video about. We're doing the 11 EDU class right now, so let's document this, post it on your story. So we encourage you all to do the same, just to get more visibility, and so we all can grow together. But one thing that we do not want to happen is for this to be motivation. This is not a motivational class. Yes, motivation is a part of it. However, really taking notes to allow this to stick, to allow these lessons to stick, rather than just being hyped for the day and then tomorrow, you get a flat tire, you forget, it goes out the window. Hope that doesn't happen to you, but you know what I mean. So please, grab pen and paper or a document on your computer and take notes. And we'll, if we have time at the end, we'll do a bit of a Q&A, and we're always available afterwards too, by DM or something like that.
Yes, and feel free to pop any questions in the chat as well, and we'll kind of keep an eye on that and address those as they pop up.
Yeah, I love that feature.
All right, so we're just going to dive right into crafting your brand identity, because that is really like the most important part, is being recognizable to your audience on every platform, whether you're on social media, TikTok, your website, and really focusing on who you're showing up as, what colors you're using, and if people will recognize you when they see you. So, and by you, I mean your content, not necessarily your face, but that too. All right, so knowing your audience. You really need to know who your target audience is to know who you're speaking to. If your target audience is stay-at-home moms who are available between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m., your content needs to speak to them. And that's just one small example. Age ranges, hair colors, just the vibe that people bring, that is your target audience. And you really need to know who that is so that you can work your brand around that, and not necessarily just who you are as a person, but who you want to reach. And then defining who you are. What sets your brand apart? Why, out of all of the hairstylists in the world and all over social media, why are you different? What sets you apart? Why should people come spend $300+ in your chair and 3 hours in your chair when they could go anywhere else? And then consistency. This isn't something that we can only do when we feel like it, when we're inspired, once a week, once a month. This is something we need to show up as every day, and really speaking to that audience every time we put out content, and really just working our entire brand around that and showing up as that and not losing sight of that every single day.
Yeah, and with your brand identity too, I'm a big fan, and we speak to this a lot, of good, better, best. It doesn't have to be perfect. I look at my content from 10 years ago and I cringe. And so, the important thing is getting started, knowing that you have to craft your brand identity. So that's already a huge step. And one of the best ways to craft your brand identity is to go find other people that you aspire to be like. It doesn't even have to be in the beauty business, but go look at other brands and see what they are doing. Brands that are successful, that have a nice aesthetic to it, and figure out why you're drawn to them. Why do you like that? And how you can steal like an artist to create your brand to be maybe similar colors, or there's like an essence about it that you want people to feel. So as you're crafting this brand identity and you're defining who you are, you're knowing your audience, and you're preparing yourself to have consistency, evolution is going to be a part of that as well. So you might, and that's the only way we can get better. When people start, they don't even know how, if you open up Instagram, you don't really know how it works, and it's changing all the time. So you're always using new functionalities. TikTok is slightly different. There's so many things that are changing in the world of social media. So as those platforms evolve, as society evolves, you will also evolve too. So it doesn't have to be perfect, but over time, eventually you will figure it out. And some people will be quicker than others, but crafting your brand identity is so important to know of it, to do it at the beginning, but to evolve over time until it gets to, close to perfection. And then the internet might change again. You might switch, you might pivot. So just being aware of that and allowing that to happen as well.
Love that.
Crafting compelling content. So who is your target audience? Highlighting your skills and knowledge, posting high quality images and videos, educating and inspiring, and then being authentic and engaging. Before you post anything, ask yourself, why will anyone watch this? Number one. But number two, why will anyone share this? Are you thinking about yourself because you're putting out content because you want to get the likes and the engagements? Or is your focus on how can I provide the most value to my target audience? Because once you make that switch and you're focused on solely focusing on creating compelling content, posting valuable content that is going to help other people, that's when people start sharing. And the crazy thing about the internet these days is that one video could launch your entire career. And you might not be getting any, even if you are creating compelling content at the beginning, you might not be getting as many views as you would like to. You might not be getting as much engagement. But then you stick to the game plan and one pops off. And then they come to your page and then they look at all of the content that you've been posting for the last 6 months, 3 years, etc. So instead of focusing on, oh, why this one didn't do well, I'm not going to post anymore, I feel stupid that nobody saw my content. No, let's provide more value. And one of my favorite things about the internet is if you don't know what to post, you're forced to go learn something. You can go to, I would do an 11 product every week. I would go and see what's exactly in it. I would understand it. I would see what the 11 website has to say about it. I would extract that. I would create my own understanding of it and speak that to the world. So now I'm not only a better hairdresser or stylist, I'm also creating content that's going to potentially do more and allow other people to see who I am and what my knowledge is. So if you can't think of something to do, go out and learn something to then communicate that to your world. And we say, remember, you are creating content for clients, not other beauty professionals. Other beauty professionals, as we're creating this community, yes, you want to have that. That's part of the foundation, but that's not who we're trying to attract right now. We're trying to attract people that are going to be lifelong clients, that are going to learn something from you, that are, when they come to your chair, they're going to say, hey, remember that 11 product you talked about? I want to get that. And before you even tell them, because you're creating this environment where you're sharing value, people are picking up on it. They now know that you're a high level stylist because you know so much about the world and you speak to it in such a positive manner. Now they're part of that process. And that's when things get easier. You're selling without actually selling. You're providing value without caring if people are going to even come to you, without caring if people are going to buy those products. Put it out. Just put it out. Put it out. And eventually it's going to just increase sales. It's going to increase your retail sales, and you're going to grow astronomically because of all the work that you're putting in on social media.
I want to go back to that creating content for clients and not other beauty professionals. I'm just going to go on a whim and say there are so many hairstylists that are just posting videos of hair, pretty hair, and no context, just saying blended blonde or chai latte blonde or just stating the obvious. And we really just need to, like we said, go back to who is our target audience, not other hairstylists. It feels good to get the validation that yes, what we're doing is pretty and other stylists are inspired by it. But that's not who our content is for. Our content is to get new clients. So we need to speak to them in our videos and not just say, look at this hair I did. I'm a really good hairstylist, but also really just give them value and pour into our target audience.
Absolutely. All right, we can go to the next slide. Go ahead, Dal.
All right, leveraging social media. So what is social media for? What is Instagram for? It is our visual portfolio. People are going to come to our page and see beautiful hair. Yes, we definitely want to be posting our work. We definitely want to show that we know what we're doing. But what else? Should our page just be full of hair? No. And I might even go as far as saying hair should be the least, or after photos should be the least of our content, because it's not all about the after and how good we are at doing hair. It's about who we are. It's about, do we know what it takes to get that beautiful color? Do we know what it takes, what products they need to get there and to maintain it? And so our visual portfolio, what the after looks like, is just a very small portion of it. It's also educational content. It's also teaching our potential clients how to get that hairstyle. It's about teaching them what products they're going to need to go home with to maintain that beautiful blonde that it could be overprocessed if they don't use the right products before and after they get that beautiful bleach and tone. And educating them on different looks for the season and really switching up the content and keeping them interacted and interested in what we're putting out, not just throwing things out there because it sounds good, and not coming up with new techniques. And I'm really big on like styling all your clients' hair differently, not just doing your favorite way of how you like your hair, but educating them on how to get different styles, how to restyle their hair on the second and third day, and really just pouring that education in, because once they receive that information from you, they are going to trust you when they come to see you. They're going to come in and sit in your chair and already trust you and believe you because they saw your Instagram and they know that you're so educated. You don't have to spend your entire consultation trying to convince them that you know what you're doing. And then engaging and interacting, really showing your following that you appreciate them. This is so huge. When your clients are tagging you in reels or photos, sharing that, commenting on that, responding to the people that are interacting with them about how good their hair looks, you really need to spend just as much time engaging and interacting as you should be, posting and making educational content. Engagement is so, so important, because if you are just showing up, posting on social media, and then there's just nothing else from you, there's no appreciation, there's no like, just responding to the comments, responding to the DMs, and you're just kind of ghost posting, then people will start to not appreciate you as much. And I say that lightly, like, I just feel like when people are tagging you and they're commenting and it just isn't appreciated loudly, they can tend to go spend their money somewhere else. And then collaborations, partnering with other people in your salons. If you work independently, partnering with other people in the suites that you're in, collaborating with businesses and other local companies that want to support you. I do this with a boutique that's right next door to one of my salons. It has been huge for my business the last 15 years. And just showing other companies that you too appreciate and support them, so that when they need to refer someone to a hairstylist, you're the first person they think of.
And love so much of what you said, Al. There's a few things I want to touch on too. So even as I love what you said about ghost posting. I've never heard it said like that. I really like that. But it's really not a following. It's more, if you think of it as a community, thinking about this as this is your community that you are building, where you're providing value. Yes, they're following you, right? So you're the leader within all of this, but you want to really build that community. So every time someone comments, you're commenting back. And then you're also looking at hashtags on your, you're like searching different hashtags and even your location, and then engaging with people that you can find that would be future guests, future clients. And some of you might be confused within like, wait, I thought like the afters was everything. And it used to be. We used to speak upon that before the internet changed, maybe 8 years ago. And as vertical videos became like the hottest thing, the highest organic growth on these social media platforms, that allowed us now to communicate more. So yes, a before and after is cool. People like seeing that and how it all happened. But that isn't everything. And I like what you said, Al. It's not like the main thing. It could even be the least that you post, because if we hear you speak, which I know is difficult. It's hard to put that camera up. It's hard to say, okay, and post that video. But that's what's going to bring you the most attention. And that's what we're trying to gather here is we're trying to gain attention. Because once you have attention, now you've built a community, and now that they're commenting or they're DMing, etc., you're now commenting back. You're building community. You're asking more questions, and with like good in our heart and value as our North Star, those things, as we're doing that, those are also helping the algorithm send more people your way, because what they're seeing now is that, oh wow, there's high amount of engagements on this. We need to show this to more people because people are liking this. So creating the content is huge, but posting it and then engaging on the other side and getting more strategic with your collaborations is going to open up so many more doors, so much more visibility. And it's easy to just take a picture, throw it up, and just, okay, I checked off the box today. And some days maybe that's the case. Maybe that's what you need to do to find consistency in it all. But at the end of the day, once we find preparation and we are posting consistently and we are focused on providing value, you're going to build the community that's going to allow you to do everything that you want in this life. And that's why, like, it seems maybe like second nature, because it's like, yeah, we have social media. We pretty much always had social media. We've had it for a long time. But this is like, still in the grand scheme of things, this is so new. The fact that you can engage with your target demographic, you used to have to go door to door. You used to have to get the white pages and call. This is at your fingertips. You can do it in your pajamas. Make time for it. Time block your day to ensure that you have time to hit all of these different points. Be the one to speak up, to ask somebody else to do a collaboration. And as we do these things, new ideas are going to come to your mind because you're actively practicing it. Once you become a practitioner, now everything becomes more visible. You're going to have new ideas. You're going to use different other parts of these social media platforms that maybe were dormant to you before. So yeah, building this community is going to change your life if you really focus on providing value to the community.
One more thing on that. One thing that I've been doing is, and has been very, very useful, is after I post something, I'll just go ahead and go interact with my target audience. So after I post something about our coaching, I'll then go on Instagram and scroll through reels, and I will comment on like maybe just like 10 to 15 hairstylists, because that's my target audience now. And I will just go interact with them. I will just go comment, follow, and like their posts. And it's been really, really huge because, again, it tells Instagram that we are active on the app, and then it just goes hand in hand with the times that we're posting. And then, like Mark said, engaging with those comments, especially right away, right after you post, to just go ahead and interact with like maybe the first 3 to 5 comments, so that Instagram knows you are active on the app.
Yeah, I would even go as far as saying, do not post unless you're going to engage right after.
Yes.
It just reminded me of this commercial back in the day for like, there was this football player. He was like working out, and then afterwards he would go drink a muscle milk protein shake, and then he would say, "Now I'm done," because he wasn't done yet. You haven't had your protein shake yet. So I almost feel like that's the same thing. It's like you're posting it, but you're not done yet until you go and engage with your target demographic, because this is tapping people on the shoulder. You're tapping them on the shoulder by saying, hey, blah, 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 adding value to their life or saying something. And they're going to say, like, either if they don't know you, they're going to say, who is this? They're going to look behind, and they're going to see your platform. They're going to see your new post, and they're going to engage with it. Or if they do know you, it's going to remind them to go check out your page and then see what you got going on and then comment on it there. So you're not finished until you put in, even if it's 10 minutes, just engage with as many people as possible within that 10-minute time frame. And then eventually, sometimes you'll get lost in it. Maybe it'll be 30 or an hour. The more you do, the better. But you're not finished until you engage with your target demographic after you post.
Love the muscle milk analogy.
Yeah.
Alrighty, converting website leads. So as important as social media is, as important as Instagram and TikTok is, we still don't want to forget about our websites, right? I think a lot of people just don't even have a website if they work independently because they rely on their booking app or Instagram to get those leads and to stay in touch with people. But websites can be so useful, especially when done right. So, just three things that are really important to have on your website: online booking, or a way for people to submit an appointment requests. This doesn't just make you look professional to have a website, by the way. It's just some people are not going to go straight to Instagram and stay there. They want to see something else that represents you with all of your information on it. And so that's where websites come in. So online booking, me personally at my salon, because we have such a large team, 2 locations, we don't do online booking. You can't go on and book any stylist. We have a full-time front desk staff at both locations that handles booking. However, we do have where you can request an appointment. And the way that we like to do it is they submit a form that says what time they want and what day they want, and if they have a stylist in mind. And our front desk every day gets back to these people very quickly. Some people aren't going to pick up the phone and call these days. They want to just email in or text in or create their own appointment. And so we realize that. So even though we don't want to actually like have our clients booking their own appointments, it's just so important to give them a way to interact online in case they're at work, on their computer in the moment, and they need to just send an email to get that appointment scheduled. So either online booking or an appointment request form of some sort should be on your website. Visuals. This could be branding photos of you, so important, and hair that you've done. So a website doesn't necessarily need to be, whereas social media is going to be more of that behind the scenes and telling your story during the day, popping on stories and saying hi to your audience. That's not going to be your website. Your website is going to be a visual portfolio for people to see the hair that you've created, the work that you've done to build that trust, and then also to see you in a professional light, where social media can be a little bit more everyday life. And then any offers that you are promoting. So could be specials, could be new client discounts that you offer, any loyalty programs that you have in your business. This should all be very clearly stated on your website.
Yeah, and with obviously, as we talked about your brand identity, then that will carry over to your website. And Wix Studio is one of the newest. Wix has been around for a while, but they just created Wix Studio, and there's so many great features there. And if you take the time, you could create something yourself if you haven't already. But just having something there to ensure that no reach out goes without potentially being booked. If you don't have a website up and then somebody is used to looking that way, they might go somewhere else. So you want to ensure that that's covered. You want to make sure all of your boxes are checked so that it's like a catch-all. No matter what, you are going to get that client. They're going to jump on the conveyor belt that's going to lead them to you and your business, because if one slips through the cracks, that could have been a lifelong client. That could have been your biggest client ever, and we can't afford to do that. So ensuring that your website is set up properly, that it looks professional, it feels like you, is super important, and is going to attribute to your success.
Yes. All right, next slide. This might be my favorite topic right now. I will try to stay very structured with my thinking when it comes to Instagram SEO. So what is SEO? SEO is search engine optimization. It is, a lot of people used to spend a ton of money on people who specialized in SEO to get their Google pages seen. Well, Instagram has SEO built into the app. So you can go on Instagram and type in the search bar blonde balayage, and blonde balayage will pop up. I'm not talking hashtags. I'm talking search engine optimization. So it is the process of optimizing your Instagram profile and content to improve visibility. It's the process of using the words that represent your content so that when other people are searching this content, you're popping up. So how does Instagram SEO work? It is your username and in your bio. So any words in your bio anything that is put into your bio and your name there at the top of Instagram, all of that has to do with who's seeing your content. Hashtags, of course, and then the content you're putting out. And I'm not just talking captions. I'm talking also the words that go over your reels, like the words that you're putting on top of your reels. And then engagement interaction. So you need to make sure that when you're posting anything, whether it is a picture of you, like an about me, kind of like reintroducing yourself, whether it is a reel of hair, whether it's behind the scenes of a balayage that you're doing, or a root tap, or any treatment that you're doing behind the chair, you need to incorporate keywords that your target audience is searching. So I want to say this in as clear words as possible because this is just so important on Instagram. If you search something on your phone, you notice that it pops up on Instagram. You probably notice that if you say words in real life, it also pops up on your Instagram. This is all tying in. It's not a coincidence. So when you're speaking to your target audience and you know who your target audience is, location wise, I'm in Plymouth and Livonia, Michigan. Putting that into the content, if you're a hairstylist in Plymouth or Livonia, Michigan, is so important so that the people in your area are going to see your work. It doesn't matter if you're in Michigan and someone in California sees your work. That person's not spending money in your business. So you need to make sure that everything you're doing on Instagram, as far as the words that you're using goes, speaks to the people who you want to show up on their phones when they're scrolling. Mark, do you have anything to add to that as far as like, I want to make it so clear because I think this is something that a lot of people miss.
Yeah. Well, because before it was all hashtags, and that was the only
Yeah.
thing. But as you'll see, even in Instagram now, there's like the AI feature in there. So there's so much as they're trying to corner the market that we need to take advantage of these. And no, I think you pretty much hit everything. I know we could do a full couple hours just on Instagram SEO. But no, I think you pretty much hit
I think
everything.
just to make this so clear, don't post a reel without words on that reel that speak to your target audience. And don't post anything where that caption is not educational, like we already talked about, but also that uses keywords that your audience is looking for. Don't just put blonde balayage. Put the products that you use so that you're showing up on people's pages who are searching these products, the location that you're in, and of course, all of the keywords that contribute to like what you're actually doing. But it's just so intentional or so important to be intentional about the words that you're using on your posts. So important right now.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's definitely become increasingly important in the last maybe like 6 months, 3 to 6 months. So perfect. We can jump on. All right. So engaging with your target audience, which we spoke about before. And actually, one more thing. It's not necessarily SEO completely, but like as we increase visibility, some people don't have their phones. Like we really want to understand our behavior. When you like something, when you're watching something, understand why. If you're in a loud place and you're watching something, but you're still able to watch it because it has captions on top of it, and you don't have to go and add the automatic captions or whatever, understand like, oh, wow, I wouldn't have watched this if it didn't have the captions on it right now, which means they would have lost a view, but it also changed my life in this moment. Let me save this. I'm a big I save a lot of different things. I have all my different save lists to be able to go back to later. But understand when something impacts you positively or even negatively, if it's not good enough or it didn't reach you, understand why as well. But really, when things really pop off to you and it changes you in some way, shape, or form, take note of that so that you could steal like an artist and do that. But yeah, ensuring that you do have captions on everything. There's a lot of apps that are out there. I think it's the Captions app. Makes it super easy. There's opus.pro where you can put long form and it'll create short form clips for you, but ensuring that you have those captions on there. So if people don't they're in a loud space, or they can't have their volume up, that you're still getting that view and still potentially getting that save and that share, is super important. And then, but yeah, as we go further into engaging with your target audience, so be as active as you can. I would put probably 30 minutes to an hour on your day, Monday through Friday, to engage with your target audience. So we have here: respond to DMs, comments, and mentions. You should be responding to everybody that is DMing or commenting on your posts. Show genuine interest by commenting on others' posts. So on Instagram, when you search, say, I'm in Los Angeles, California, so I could, be even more strategic to be around like an 8-mile radius to ensure that the person would actually come to the salon. You start finding little pockets where you search that location, and then what's going to happen is that the top posts from the people in that community have posted, and you go through that list. These are all people that are around you, and you comment, and not a comment like, "Hey, cool hat." Like, it has to be genuine. It has to be something like that feels like feels like a person. Otherwise, they're going to feel like it's some robot that's just going out and engaging with everybody, which used to be a thing. It's a way of the past. If you're using any of those apps, that's a way of the past. You will be penalized for using them by having a shadow over your account. So ensure that you're the one that's going out and engaging and commenting on other people's stuff, because this is, again, tapping people on the shoulder. This is creating more of a community. I love searching like weddings or for these type of things, because you're now finding groups, of the bridesmaids and everything too, that might be around in that community, as well as you're liking and commenting on those as well. And ensuring that you're increasing visibility organically. It also shows that you're using the app. So then again, the algorithm will lean in your favor. So take advantage of IG features on your stories, polls, and questions. There's now the polls feature on your actual post that you can use. And that's a huge one for stories. If you're able to create regular story posts, even if it's like, maybe maybe you did like somehow bring it back to the brand, but like the top 5 movies, or like let's do 5 posts about the movies with people that had the best hair, and then you could like do a poll. So you could put Pulp Fiction and My Best Friend's Wedding on one, and then you say up or down, and they have to vote, right? People are voting, and you do a lot of those. That will increase your story viewership by probably at least times 4. By just people engaging on which one. Then they go to the next one. It's 2 other movies, and then maybe put the picture of whoever had the iconic hairstyle in the top one, and then in the bottom one. So now people are doing this or that. And it's simple. It's kind of mundane. It's kind of fun for your following, but that's going to increase your visibility because the amount of engaging that's happening on your story. And then that's when you'll go from maybe 150 or 200 views to 800 or 1,000. It's a massive jump that many people are unaware of. But taking that concept and doing it in other ways. Ask questions regularly. And if you haven't been using these features on stories, but you've been seeing other people do it, go and try. Go make a mistake. Go figure it out. Go watch another tutorial how to do that. Which app is best to create these type of posts and reels from your experience? Okay, which app is best to create these type of post reels from your experience? I wonder if that's based on editing or just the captions. But I'll go back to that in one second. So as we finish up on engaging with your target audience, taking advantage of those stories and of the polls and the different features on there, use them, try them, find out, create unique ways that you've used that you could use them that nobody else is. Come up with ideas, start trends. This is where becoming a practitioner is going to serve you as well. And then encourage user-generated content to showcase your happy clients, and then build genuine relationships with your audience. That's all encompassing. This is a community, as we said. I almost don't even want to call it a following anymore. It's a community. You're building a community that you're the leader of. And what does a leader do? A leader leads. They tell people about things. They're educated in all facets of the business. And by actively engaging and interacting with your target audience on Instagram, beauty professionals can strengthen connections, build loyalty, and ultimately grow their brand presence on the platform. Al, do you have anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I want to talk about UGC for a minute. So UGC is user generated content. It is something that is talked about widely in, like, I feel like maybe like just the influencer world of them creating content for these bigger brands, makeup brands, skincare brands, hair care brands. But UGC can be something that you can utilize as a hairstylist. And I feel like it is very underutilized. If I was doing hair today with the way that people are into UGC, I mean, the people that actually want to create it, because right now there are just so many people in the world who have a side gig where they create content for other people. I don't necessarily do UGC, but for my brow girl, I made her a UGC video. I did a going to get my brows done video for her. So, and it served as like content for myself as well, because I'm also in the beauty industry. But there are just so many clients of yours who would love to create a video for you. And what it does is it puts you in the spotlight without you putting yourself there. So it's your clients, your fun, energetic clients who enjoy creating social media content. And maybe right now you're thinking of like certain people who you know that do this or would like to do this for you. And just saying, hey, would you mind doing when you come and get your hair done, would you mind doing like a day in the life for me? I'll give you 20% off. Something, just give them something to kind of incentivize them doing this for you, and show your appreciation, or give them a free bottle of shampoo or something like that. It could cost you little to nothing, and it will, number one, they might feel very like grateful that you asked them. They'll be like, wow, she wants me to do this for her. But their friends are all going to see it. So they might even use it on their page, or maybe they'll just send it to you to use. But I just think that would be a really cool thing to start doing, is thinking of those people who either have talked about coming to see you and haven't yet, or those people who do come see you and have that energetic, fun personality, people that you want more clients like, and ask them to create like a day in the life video of them coming to get their hair done by you. I've seen a lot of them on social media, like, come with me to such and such salon. So something to think about. I think that would be a really great way to start putting yourself in the spotlight without having to show up necessarily as you saying, come see me. And then also just using the photos and videos that your clients post. Maybe they got their hair done before they went on vacation, and saying like, hey, do you mind if I share this on my page? Do you mind if I take this photo? And it just shows that like your clients love their hair too. They're posting it. It's not just you taking pictures of their hair after they left the salon. So
Yeah,
just
I love when you take text messages from people too, and how you highlight those to show in your
absolutely.
story. It's just,
Yes. I do
yeah,
it
just
with my
adding more.
employees to show why they like working here, like why do they enjoy being on our team. It shows other people why they should want to be on our team without me telling them. And it's just a really like honest way to show that people enjoy you and your business.
Yes, yes. And we'll take this time to answer a couple questions. So, Rochelle Lynn, which app is best to create these type of posts and reels from your experience? So, InShot, InShot is my favorite iPhone editing app. It's very easy to use. They do a great job of continuously upgrading it. Pay the extra $2 to not have the InShot watermark, because you don't ever want a watermark on your posts from anyone else. And then the Captions app has been really phenomenal by adding captions. So those two apps in particular, for photos, Lightroom is solid. You can do a lot of presets on there for photo editing. Al, is there any other apps that you prefer based on
Yeah,
this type
so
of content?
Instagram has came a really long way with their video editing. I don't know that everyone
Mhm.
has that update yet. It took me a while to get it on our business page, but I had it very quickly on my personal page. So if you have the upgraded version of editing your videos in the Instagram app, I really just enjoy doing them there. And then I did used to love InShot. I used to create all of my videos there, but since Instagram has updated, I've just found myself editing them right there in the app. And then you said Lightroom. So Lightroom is also another really good one for editing. And I also use Teza, Tezza. I use that one a lot. And then there's one more. Oh, Snapseed. I really like using Snapseed too. It is the easiest app to clean up someone's. I use it a lot for like if I'm just cleaning up a photo. So maybe like they have fuzz on their shirt or something like that. I use it for kind of cleaning that up so that the photo looks really clean. And then also I use it a lot for I wear a lot of black clothes, but sometimes they can just look dull and, like I said, show fuzz and stuff like that. So I will actually go on Snapseed and darken the black in my photos just to make them look really crisp and professional. If you go to my page, you'll probably notice that I do that now. I'm giving away my secret. But yeah, I use Snapseed a lot for just healing a photo and making it look really, really professional.
Yeah, yeah. Snapseed's been around for a while too. It's been
Yeah, and
part of the toolbox.
I kind of thought that I was the only one still using it. If I was to say all the apps I was using, I probably would have left that one out because I felt kind of like that it was like something that's been around for a while. But I just saw someone else post all the apps that they're using and they had Snapseed on there. So I guess it's still it's still kicking for a lot of people.
Yeah, yeah. And then also, how do you feel about Ashley's question? Is it okay to have two target markets? I have an education side and a stylist side.
So I absolutely think that is okay because first of all, I would rather go if I had a stylist that was catching my eye and then I had another stylist that was catching my eye who also educated people, that would just speak to me that you know what you're doing. So other people are learning from you. And remember, I was a hairstylist myself. So I also think that kind of put me in a good position to gain more clients because people saw that I was teaching. So that is definitely very, very useful. And then from the other side, of course, you're doing the education and you need hair to do that on. So I think it fits perfectly right in with each other.
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right. So you can go to the next slide. All right. Brand building and social media growth, analyzing your performance. So this is an important step along the way. However, we don't want to get too caught up in it because it's not everything. Growing on social media takes time. If you're number one, if you're only using Instagram, you're failing. You need to be creating content. It could be the same video, the same vertical video. Vertical videos is where the highest organic growth is currently. TikTok, if you have over 1,000 followers, you now can go live, and going live is really a great way for new people to find you. Instagram, going live on Instagram is still pretty much primarily your followers that are coming to see you there. And I'm wondering if that's going to change probably over time. And but what happened was TikTok during the pandemic, they changed their algorithm to give you as much attention as possible on your vertical videos. So everybody was leaving Instagram and YouTube to go to TikTok because if people were analyzing their performance, it was through the roof. The performance was through the roof. You could go viral. We've had several people, one video, they had 900,000 followers and changed their life and their business by using TikTok. Same video on Instagram, 2,000 views. So if you're wondering if you suck and nobody's liking your stuff, it's not that you suck. It's that you're not putting that content everywhere. So after TikTok changed the game, Instagram then created vertical video content with Reels, Facebook Reels as well, and then YouTube created YouTube Shorts. So we don't even call them Reels or TikToks anymore. We call them verts, and verts is short for vertical videos, verticals. So if you're creating verts, that's a 59-second or less video that has valuable information. Value comes in the form of education, entertainment, or any kind of value. And then you also want to have captions on that and some kind of music to enhance it from most of the content. Now, when you have that 59-second or less video, the reason I say 59 seconds or less is because YouTube Shorts, if it's over 60 seconds, it then becomes a long form video, a widescreen video, and it doesn't share the same organic growth potential. So when we have one video, we're taking that video, we're putting it on TikTok, we're putting it on Instagram Reels, we're putting it on Facebook Reels, and we're putting it on YouTube Shorts, maybe even LinkedIn. If you have the time, if speaking to other like-minded business folks is part of your target demographic. But we've had several clients, the same 100 videos on TikTok and Instagram. On Instagram, they grew to like 3,000 followers. On TikTok, they grew to 170,000, and now they're getting noticed wherever they go based on being the movie review guy. Another one of our clients, we did the same 100 videos on TikTok and Instagram. On TikTok, she grew to 10 or 11,000. On YouTube, she's at 76,000. So, and YouTube right now, what we're seeing is with consistency on YouTube Shorts, people are growing with their viewerships and subscribers tenfold to what it was before. So if you're only posting on one platform, number one, you're becoming vulnerable, because as you're seeing, as they're talking about banning TikTok, if your whole following is on TikTok and you haven't been paying attention to Instagram, now you've become vulnerable. And now if that does happen, then now you have to kind of start fresh somewhere else. So you should always be actively posting this on every platform to see where you could have the highest organic growth. So that's a key. But once you are doing that, now it's about analyzing your performance. So you're going into your insights and analytics to see what posts did well, what posts didn't. You're tracking your engagement. You're seeing what content is working so that you can do more of it and less of what's not working. And then from there, you're also continuing to A/B test. So you're post a video like this, post a video you don't think will get a lot of engagement. And then you'll see, you have to let the market decide. It's not up to you. It's not what you think is valuable. Let's see what your target demographic thinks is valuable and see how they respond. So as you are tracking your engagement, as you are looking at your insights and analytics on each of these platforms, you're understanding how people are responding to your content. And then you're also introducing new styles of content that are to see how the growth is there as well. And then from there, we're learning, we're evolving, and we're growing. That's the process. Each month, you should be checking your insights and analytics and seeing what's working and what's not, and then pivoting slightly, evolving slightly in the next month, and doing the same thing there. Because once you have this type of mentality, it's giving you the tools that you need to find what does work as you evolve over time. So it's not that you suck, it's that you're just starting out, and that it's going to take time. But if you're not using all of these different platforms, you may be missing out on like astronomical growth elsewhere that then will transfer over to your other platforms as well.
Love that.
Got anything on that, Al?
I'm just gonna add, the A/B testing is so huge. I talk to a lot of people who are like, yeah, this one video I created 2 months ago did so good, and I don't know why it did so good, but like, look, I got 20,000 views and 50 saves, and it's like, okay, do more of that. Do that again. It shouldn't be that video that you made 2 months ago that did that. We should have ran with that. That's what people want to see. That was the content that people were responding to. And so I'm definitely just looking at your content, seeing what got the most saves and shares, never mind likes, never mind comments, just saves and shares. Really focus on those. That means your content is being pushed out there, and see what worked and do it again and keep doing it until it doesn't work, and then switch it up. But get involved with your numbers, get involved with what's working, get involved with how Instagram is working for you. It is your business. It's not just social media. It's your business. Yes. It is the number one way to get your business out there.
Yes. Right. And Brooke Miller asked, what's a good way, or let's see, there was a one before. Oh, so can you schedule videos on TikTok and YouTube? Yes, you can. We used to use apps that would then put them everywhere. We don't schedule like that anymore. We do it in the actual app. So you can schedule on those different apps. And then what's a good way to find your target audience? So when you say find, if you're looking for like discovering your target audience, or like figuring out what your target audience is, or if it's how do you find your target audience, I think it's probably the latter. So I would say the best way to find your target audience is to, once you understand what it is, then you go out and you search for it. So you find those type of people around your community. So Instagram is probably my favorite place to do that, searching the locations, searching, like I said before, like weddings and stuff like that, or the different boutiques, finding places that are that your target demographic goes to and posts, and then engaging with those different people. That's the best way to find your target audience. Anything to add to that, Al?
Um, I'm not sure if they meant that or if they did mean how do you know who your target audience is? So we'll just touch on that really quick as well. I would start by building a brand board, like a mood board, and figure it out like what is the age demographic? What type of hair do you want to create? What times are these people available? That's kind of where I would go with it. What trends these people like? Are they beachy? Are they beachy and earthy and like more naturally styled hair? Then you need to create content around that. So you just have to really know like who you in your heart want to be your target audience, and then work from there.
Yes. All
All
right.
right.
Vertical video content. So I know I got into that a second before. So distributing content where organic growth is strongest is key to building a community on social media, increasing your visibility. I pretty much went pretty heavy into this and before. But when we're talking about getting visibility, user behavior, to see how people behave, how do they interact on this, to see what new content is going to speak to them, is going to lead to higher engagement. So as we talked about, what is a vertical video? This is the place, this is the time, and this might change. Actually, it is changing right now. Vertical video content is still highest organic growth, and that's because how people have been behaving on these apps. However, as we're looking at things, TikTok and Instagram are both promoting. Maybe I shouldn't use the word promoting, because you can promote your post. We don't recommend that. Focusing on the organic growth is going to be best, but they are incentivizing people by giving you more visibility by doing long form widescreen videos. This is like brand new. This is in the last couple months. So videos that are longer than 1 minute on these different apps is being incentivized. So as we've all become aware of like these vertical videos, and that's where we get lost, and as we share them with other people, that is still where the highest organic growth is, and we're keeping our tabs on where things are going, as maybe our attention span, as it's been shortened, maybe it's lengthening now, and people want to see more and have more value provided to them. So that comes into the A/B testing as well. Is as we're creating this vertical video content, we're also creating long form widescreen videos to be posting as well, and then that way you can A/B test and see what's working for you. And when we're A/B testing, it's not necessarily just like, oh, I did it last week and this is what it was, I'm never doing that again. We want to continue A/B testing over long periods of time to see where something else might pop off that it didn't before. So, so as we're creating this vertical video content, that again is the 59 seconds or less with captions and some music to ensure it has the highest growth potential. Now we want to come into creating these different ideas. So maybe one day you're just speaking about an 11 product, and then the next day you're doing a day in the life with a voiceover. If you don't feel comfortable being in front of the camera, voiceovers are huge. Just having you documenting your day and then going home, going in your closet to get like a decent amount of like dead sound in there, and then speaking into your phone and describing what's going on within that video, that allows you to have, sometimes when you're making a video and you can't get it right and you're just getting mad at yourself because you're like, oh, I was so good earlier when I didn't have the camera on, and you turn the camera on, you forget everything. Lean into day in the life stuff. Lean into voiceover content, still showing your face in some capacity so that you can grow into being in front of the camera. That's okay too. But all of these different kinds of vertical video content, there's so many different ways to do it. Finding your niche so that eventually people, when they see that first 3 seconds and you hook them within that vertical video, they start getting used to it, and that becomes your thing. Or maybe you're signing off the same way because you're creating this community, but it's like a TV show. Like when that song comes on from your favorite TV show, I'll be there for you, you're like, oh, okay, you hear that song, it's part of the experience. So so having those different parts of your video are going to create an even stronger brand identity that people are going to expect and remember, and then when they share with others, they're going to love it too. You know, I
Yep.
kind of went a lot of different places there, but it's all necessary, I promise.
Yes. I think we have one more slide, so we're right on time.
Nice.
All right. Long-term strategy. So now that you've got all this information and all of this, hopefully inspiration as well, and motivation to get out there and create all this content, what is the long-term strategy? We don't want you to just leave this class and then do it for a week and you feel really good. A lot of times after we teach, I'll get a bunch of DMs that are like, hey, thanks so much for the class. I'm so inspired. I'm so motivated. And at first it does seem that way, but then we kind of go back to our old habits. So what is the long-term strategy? So just to wrap things up, having a clear brand identity throughout all platforms, website, TikTok, Instagram, all of the platforms that you're on, LinkedIn, your email newsletters, everything should reflect your brand. Creating valuable content. I could scream this from the rooftops. Make sure that the content you are putting out is not about you. It is not to boost your ego. It is to serve your clients and to get people in your chair. Maintain a posting schedule to keep your audience engaged. So don't just leave here and create all this awesome content and then 2 weeks from now you're right back to no plan, no edited content, forgetting to take those behind the scenes videos. Just really creating that consistency and making it a part of your life, your daily life, and then engaging and nurturing your audience. So really making sure that your following or your community that you're building, they feel seen and that they feel appreciated and valued by you. Establishing a long-term social media strategy for beauty professionals requires a combination of branding, content creation, audience engagement, and consistency. And I could just scream consistency. It is so, so, so important that you leave today and you stay consistent with all of this stuff that you've learned. And do it for you, do it for your business, do it for the growth that you want to see in your business, and quiet all that noise outside that is telling you that that you're an imposter and that you don't know what you're talking about and that your content is not needed or you don't have enough experience. These are things I hear all the time. That is the reason that people aren't creating the content. So quiet all of that noise. You are the professional and your audience is not other beauty professionals. It is clients who know absolutely nothing about hair. So what do you want to add to that, Mark?
Yeah, so I think I was looking, there's one question that we wanted to go back to. What is your thought on when it comes to voiceovers, and what are some tips to make sure you aren't talking at people? When you're doing your voiceovers, what is your process typically?
First of all, I happen to know Katie. She does a lot of voiceovers and they are really fun. She's just really natural and makes them kind of fun, like she's actually just talking to the person that she hangs out with all the time. So Katie, you're doing fabulous with that. You keep that up. But if you feel like you're talking at people, I have heard something, and I think this might resonate with you a little bit. Sometimes when you pop on social media to talk, it's like, hey guys, or hey everyone. And I try to stay away from that. You don't want them to feel like you're talking to this broad audience that may or may not include them. You want to feel like you're talking to that one single person that's on the other side of the camera. So avoid saying things like, hey guys, hey everyone. Avoid, again, making it about you. It should always be valuable content that you're putting out there for people to learn from. You might go to my page right now and say, well, you did a day in the life that was about you coaching. I like to create the day in the life videos when I have a really busy day of doing coaching and things like that, to show that A, that I'm busy doing what I love to do, and B, that I'm into what I'm doing. So showing, when you come from a genuine place of like, I love doing this, I want to serve you and do this for you too, people aren't going to feel like you're talking at them. It's going to just look like you love doing hair. For most of the people on here who are hairstylists, it's you showing up, showing that you love formulating, you love chatting with your clients, and that you're enjoying doing it behind the chair. I say all the time that enthusiasm will build you a bigger business than talent ever will. If you're excited and love what you do, people will flock to you. They will totally, you will be a magnet to other people who have the same energy as you, regardless of if you're the best hairstylist. They're just going to want to hang out with you.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yes.
so that brings us to the end of our slides. On that note, Mark and I have a website, mastermindbeauty.com. We would love for you guys to check out. We have a virtual course on there for you to watch 9 videos on your time, on your personal time. And we also have a planner that we just revamped. So our planner Elevate is for you goal setting and goal tracking people. We actually sold out of our first batch of them, and we've just revamped them with this amazing coil binding. So if you want to go ahead and check that out, then feel free to just send us a contact form under Contact Us and let us know that you would like to pre-order that. So those will be being sent to us very soon.
Yes, and please like and subscribe to 11EDU here on YouTube and all other social media platforms. And yeah, thank you so much, 11, for having us. I hope you all found this valuable. If you have any other questions, please reach out via DM or however you see fit. And yeah, our social media platforms, Allison Bellavi, myself, Mark Rodriguez TV. And yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Me quedo sola, bebiendo solo cherry cola, en la plaza bajo la farola, con dolor en mi corazón. Dime por favor.